Hi everyone, welcome back. I am here to be reacting to Elden Ring Lore, this time The Age of the Stars, which is about Ranni, my beloved, my lover, and I'm very excited to learn further about her story. I find her story probably the most interesting thus far in the Elden Ring lore. Not that that's, a massive statement because a lot of them are very up there in my interest because they are such fascinating stories and all very, very important. So I do like a lot of them. But we're going to be focusing on this one today, The Age of the Stars, by Vati, of course, which will be linked in the description below. So be sure to check out the original video as well. Shout out to Vati, making some epic lore videos that help break it down for my smooth brain self. So, all right, strap in, leave a like and subscribe because we're going to be getting to the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC as well. And I want you there for that journey as well. Okay, let's get to it.
The first war for Leonia was a clash of blue against gold, reason against faith, the stars against the Erdtree.
Stars v Erdtree.
Champions fought on either side, but none were as great as Rennala and Radagon, who somehow put their differences aside.
And fell in love.
From this union, 3 children were born, each with Radagon's flaming red hair: Rykard, Radahn, and Ranni. Of the 3, the Princess Ranni was most favored by the mother.
Don't blame her.
It was a matriarchal society, after all, and
Ranni's the coolest.
would inevitably pass to her. So, with Rennala leading her by the hand,
This is beautiful.
she found it, her very own moon.
The dark.
But her moon would be eclipsed by the 2 fingers who spoke for the greater will. They schemed to have the young Empyrean follow their path, a puppet on their strings.
But she was smart.
And so they granted her a shadow, a half-wolf named Blythe,
Life.
given to protect Ranni, all in the name of the greater will. But it was a mistake, and Ranni and Blythe grew extremely close. So Ranni grew older, with loyal allies by her side,
E.g.
and thanks to the greater will, she was never alone. Unlike her mother, who would be abandoned by Radagon.
She did not handle that well.
After this, Rennala was no champion. She was destroyed by grief and left with nothing but Radagon's golden egg. Meanwhile, Radagon reforged his Moonlight Greatsword into a Greatsword of Order, showing his true colors as he embraced his other half. The sword was once a gift of betrothal.
That's so cool.
Not anymore. Suddenly bereft of her parents, Ranni ventured deep into the woods, and there she found a new mentor, a snowy crone, well-versed in witchcraft, who taught the young Ranni in the absence of her mother.
Yeah, while her mother was
In contrast
buried
to
in
Ranni,
grief.
Radahn grew in admiration of the father, and in an unparalleled act of power, he mastered gravity magic and turned against the stars.
stopped fate in its tracks. This is so epically animated, by the way.
Rykard, on the other hand, writhed and rankled against order, as did Ranni, who would not acquiesce.
My blasphemous
And yet,
icons!
her body belonged to the Golden Order, for she was a demigod, perhaps even more than she herself knew. So she devised a plot, stealing death and forging it into black blades that could cast away her Empyrean flesh. And so, as Order slowly fell apart, she set aside her great rune and left with Blythe and E.G. and was never seen again.
I'm so proud of her. I can't tell you how proud of her I am. Like, I feel like that's the path. She has the story that I would have taken if I was in the Elden Ring world. Like, her path is so what I'd see myself as, but
yes.
she's more badass by miles.
Shall we come to the lands between for the Elden Ring? Of course you have. No shame in it. Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless.
I will become Ranni's consort, actually, and not be maidenless. Damn, this compilation of getting messed up. Oh god, that dungeon was diabolical. Probably the most difficult one.
I bequeath to you this ring. It will summon a spectral steed named Torrent.
Thou art of passing skill. Warrior blood must truly run in thy veins, tarnished.
Hell yeah. Earned my spot to help alongside Ranni. Fly!
Always a pleasure. Care to purchase anything? The howl of a wolf in the mistwood. I suppose he must still be skulking about. I know. Why not meet him for yourself? Next time you hear the wolf's howl, make this signal right under the source.
I did not expect that to
Don't
work
fret.
at the time, by the way.
There is
I was
nothing
like,
to
what?
fear. I just have an inkling the two of you might hit it off.
It's early in the game, and you're desperate for your first quest. That howl has not stopped ever since you set foot here, and it comes from a rare high point in the Mistwood. One
It took
that
me forever
peeks
to
over
find as
its
well.
treetops.
To look up.
Here, you can find the half-wolf named Blythe. It's as if he's looking for something, as if he's in need of information. So you can get his attention with the same signal that he and Kale must have set up to do trade.
Carly sent you, did he?
Yes.
Ever the bloody busybody. Maybe to him you don't seem so strange. The name's Blythe. I'm looking for a man who goes by Darrowell. He fled somewhere nearby, or so I've heard. Come tell me if you find him before I do. I can offer you ample reward. Darrowell is nothing but a traitor, and in need of a fitting end to his tale.
Darrowell is a bloodhound knight, a sect of
Nasty.
fighters who were trained as hunters and trackers. These beastly knights never speak, but they choose their own master and are supposed to be loyal to them for life.
Oh.
Even Renala had such an oath-sworn beast in her employ. And she also had Blythe, who is yet another half-wolven warrior who is defined by his loyalty. Perhaps it's for this reason that Blythe takes Darrowell's treachery so personally.
Hi, Starwell.
Darrowell. Rotting in a cell is no true justice. No. This is where it ends for you.
Nice. Hitting them together at the same time, that's so cool. Just the boys. Oof. This is brilliantly shot. Hell yeah. They got him.
Right. There you are. Had to work for it, but it's done. Don't say I'm not a man of my word. Here's your prize. Oh yes. I should say, if you venture north to Rea Lucaria and come across a venerable blacksmith who's a little on the large side,
Large
tell him
side.
I sent you, and he'll be sure to treat you right.
Sweet
I owe
Ichi.
you one, I reckon. That's enough chit-chat for now. It's time we parted ways.
Of course, we don't know the circumstances of Darrowill's traitorous acts, but we do know that Blythe is obsessed with loyalty, and here, perhaps, he is projecting his expectations of loyalty upon another.
Ah, then you met Blythe, did you? Wonderful. I'm glad I pointed you in his direction. He's boorish, blunt, and couldn't find his nose with both hands. But he's a good egg.
He is a good egg.
I think the two of you are sure to find the best in one another.
Until we didn't. Everything's
After
sad
this,
and soft
word of your
in FromSoft.
exploits begins to spread, and the Church of Ella is engulfed by a strange sleep mist.
This way, Tarnished. May I have a word? A pleasure to meet thee, Tarnished.
And then she says that
I
she
am
knows
the witch
Torrent.
Renna. I'd heard tell of a Tarnished hurtling about atop a spectral steed, and upon looking into the matter, the talk, I surmise, is of thee. Thou art possessed of the power, no? To call forth a spectral steed named Torrent.
Torrent. Yes.
Ah, as I had hoped, I was entrusted this for thee by Torrent's former master. 'Tis a bell of calling forth spirits. Summon them with it. From ash and return to the Erdtree, the spirits will obey thine command but briefly, as they recall battles past.
Hell yeah.
Now it is thine, to do with as thou wishest.
And I took my jellyfish to the end.
Tarnished. I doubt we shall again meet. But all the same, learn well the lands between. How long will it be, I wonder, before the Tarnished tire of obeisance to the two fingers?
The two fingers. So, long ago, great champions would gather at the round table and listen to the fingers, for they are envoys to the greater will, and the greater will is widely regarded as the ultimate power in the universe. So the two fingers speak with its language
Through
of
Aina.
light, but they are far from benevolent, and it was the two fingers that forsook the Tarnished long ago when their grace was lost, only to welcome them back upon the shattering of the Elden Ring. Now they are wizened, trembling, and bent with age, yet still they shepherd members of the Round Table hold, sharing incantations of light and warmth, but also shadows and silence. They have high hopes for the Tarnished, that even should they be wounded, even should they fall, that they will continue to fight for their duty. But many suspect that the fingers are corrupted, broken,
Such as
their guidance
Ranni.
skewed. For now, Grace leads you to Leonia, known for its vast forests and ever-present fog. In its north stands the Academy of Raya Lucaria. In the east, there is a high road that runs north to south, and the western coast has always been closely associated with Carian royalty, some of whom remain to this day. This is Iji, the Carian blacksmith that Blythe sent you to find.
He's a sweet man.
actually did that, did he? Quite a rare occurrence for such a guarded soul as he. Perhaps he sensed something unusual about you. At any rate, if you're friendly with Blythe, I will give you whatever guidance I can and pray for your success.
So
Long
sweet.
ago, trolls like Iji swore an oath to Queen Renala
Yeah.
of Caria, and were eventually called into service
They
to
were-
fight in her war against the Golden Order.
They were some of the
Eventually, Caria
few
and
experiences
Raya
that
Lucaria would join with the Golden Order,
they had to be
only
treated
for
as
Radigan
equals.
to abandon Renala and then leave Leonia in this state of civil strife. But again, that was long ago.
Brave Tarnished. A word of warning, if you please.
I could listen to
This
Iji's
territory
voice
once
forever.
belonged to the Carian royal family. Their manor lies not far beyond this point.
When the Raya Lucaria Academy turned on the Carians, the Knights of the Cuckoo descended on this tract. After leveling it, they carried on to the manor. The Carians were taken off guard, but their strength had not waned, and they repelled the Knights' onslaught by conjuring an enchanted snare that remains potent to this day. That is why I say, Tarnished, don't go near the manor. Unless you wish to lie with the corpses of the heedless Knights of the Cuckoo.
Cuckoo. But I went anyways. Oh, damn. That's when I first met them. Oh. What a shot. Oh.
Amidst Caria's enemies and treasure, the Knights of the Cuckoo live on, as puppets who are forced now to fight for the Carians that they once tried so hard to destroy. Perhaps
like
you'd be better
zombified.
off exploring Raya Lucaria, the academy
Once
that
I had
closed
the
its
key,
doors to the
I
world.
could.
After the shattering, the academy wisely declared that it wouldn't interfere and locked its gates. So it is that even now it's filled with scholars, or at least it was. These sorcerers dedicated themselves to glintstone research.
They
and
loved knowledge.
They
They
venerated
bonk you on the
many
head with a book.
masters.
Tell
The
you to
headmaster
learn.
was Ranala, who was also the Queen of Caria. But Ranala disgraced herself by falling for Radigan, who left her witless and inane. So now there is this limited Carian presence in Raya Lucaria, except for a few loyalists who defend the Grand Library. For it is here that Ranala remains, locked away with the Great Rune of the Unborn.
In deep grief.
Who's that? Who could be? A new friend.
Oof.
Hush, little Calva. I'll soon birth thee anew, a sweeting, fresh and pure.
Children born anew by Ranala are all frail and short-lived, and Radigan's golden protection can only last so long. Ranala's true defense lies in the golden egg, which is enchanted with a snare. It's a spell that conjures a version of Ranala at the height of her power, something designed by the daughter to protect the mother.
Oh,
Upon my
Ranni
name
made that
is
for
Ranni
her.
the Witch. Mother's rich slumber shall not be disturbed by thee.
Yes, she wanted to protect
Foul
her mom.
trespasser. Send word far and wide of the last queen of Caria, Ranala of the full moon, and the majesty of the night she conjureth.
So cool. This is so beautiful. How they filmed it, everything.
In this battle, Ranala is defended by her oath-bound beasts, giants, and dragons that had partnered with her over her long age of wandering the lands between. For she was there at the beginning of it all.
Her second phase was very
little
tough.
Ranni, my dear daughter, weave thy night into being.
This was merely a fight against a conjured spirit, and yet those final words seem real.
She loved her daughter, but she was just so
Back at
disposed
Caria
in
Manor,
grief.
you progress towards the Three Sisters, towers that are defended by Adula, who is Ranni's oath-sworn dragon. Adula was once a devourer of sorcerers, until she was bested by Ranni, and subsequently she swore a knightly oath to her dark moon. She flees before we can defeat her, but we'll see her again before the end. For now, we're granted access to Ranni's rise.
Oh, again we cross paths. I believe I said my name was Renna when last we met.
She lied.
It pleaseth me to see Torrent hale and hearty, but tarnished. What business hast thou here? I have no memory of inking thee an invitation. No reason in particular thou claimest. Intriguing. Then mayhaps fate hath steered thee to this reunion.
We were meant
Wilt
to
thou
be.
enter into my service? I am the witch Ranni. I stole death long ago, and search now for the dark path, that I might one day upend the whole of it, and rid the world of all that came before. Well, has
think
that
that's
roused thy
brave as
interest?
hell.
I see. A choice well made. Thou art a rare sword. Not many would have accepted the offer, but I require as much of those under my command. I anticipate good work from thee. Then I ask we proceed with haste. There is in my service a half-wolven warrior
Oopsies.
by the name of Blythe.
Whew,
I would
okay.
have thee join him in searching for the hidden treasure of Nokron,
Nokron.
the Eternal City. I have called for Blythe to greet thee below. Take from him the particulars.
Long time, friend. Blythe. Have you forgotten? Glad to have you in the service of Mistress Ranni. Well, getting right to business. I'm still in Limgrave. The Eternal City of Nokron lies somewhere at the bottom of this land. I'm planning to go below through the well in the Mistwood. See if I can't find the road to Nokron from there. Don't keep me waiting, eh?
This is, I know I keep saying it. It's incredibly filmed. I just can't get over it. It's so cool.
And so you go down, deep below the earth, to an ancient civilization
was
that
a long
predates
descent.
any others that are found on the surface. Here, ancestral followers and claymen persist well outside the purview of the Erd Tree. But built amidst these ancient ruins is a newer, still ancient city, Nokron, an eternal city where people of the night were banished to long ago for their treason. But their legacy lives on in E.G., Blythe, Ranni, and now you.
Ah. Good to see you. Apologies, mate. But I don't have much to report. I can see bloody Nokron right above me. But I'm absolutely stumped. I've tried all the gateways, to no avail. Perhaps it's time to ask Celavus. I recall that spiteful little rat acting like he knew something. Let's give him a squeeze. Show him just how sharp my teeth are. I jest. I wouldn't go
I'm
that
kidding,
far.
kind of.
Besides, I should check on some things here. Leave this place to me. You just do what you feel is right. If either of us learns anything, we tell the other. Right?
We were besties. I'm so sad.
And so you go to confront Celavus.
He was my bestie.
Celavus was once a preceptor, a teacher of magic who served the Carian royals. When Radigan married Renala, these preceptors were ordered to don masks of confidence mouths stitched shut with gold thread, to make it clear that all their matters were to be kept strictly private, because Radagon was hiding a secret. And that secret was that, of course, Radagon was also Marika. And Seluvis also has many secrets of his own.
Many secrets, okay.
You must be Ranni's new hireling. Yes, I've heard all about you. I don't know what it is the mistress sees in a provincial tarnished like you, but since we have the misfortune of serving the same lady, I am Seluvis, preceptor in the sorcerous arts.
As loathsome as Seluvis is,
He is loathsome.
it seems he knows something about Nokron.
Well, you're asking me about that, are you? The task was left to you and the mongrel, was it not? Not only are you incompetent, but shameless to boot.
I want to shake him.
There's no helping it. Now's as good a time as any. I'll let you in on it. There's a glintstone sorcerer by the name of Selin in Limgrave. She owes me for the help I gave her when she was expelled from the academy. I asked her to look into the matter some time ago. I'll write you a letter of introduction. Go ask her.
I'd met her
So
prior
he
to.
doesn't know how to get to Nokron, but he does know someone who might. Selin was expelled from Raya Lucaria for her research into the primeval current, and among other things, these dark arts taught Selin how to slice open her heart and imbue a primal glintstone with her soul.
That
Selin
little
is
blue
still
glow is
alive,
very Sleeping
but you
Beauty to me.
eventually track
If
her
you know,
down.
you know.
Or what's left of her, anyway.
Oh, tarnished are you? I am Jaren, foolish old warrior and witness. You didn't know Selin, did you? Well, whatever the case, she's dead now. It is strange, though. The woman, she was like a husk. Her soul already fled. I suspect Selin lives on elsewhere. I'm sure she'll turn up
Yeah, see,
eventually.
I'd found this version of her
Body.
first, so I didn't get
The
that.
knight, Jaren, once served the Carrion Royals as a war commander for their general Radahn. Naturally then, he was also familiar with the Carrion Royal blacksmith, E.G.
Well, I haven't heard that name in an age. Then you must serve Princess Ranni. The next time you speak to E.G., tell him this. The Festival of Radahn will surely set Ranni's fate back into motion. By
And
the
it
by,
literally did.
is that old fool still hammering out weapons? His enormous frame cramped in that little place? Bit of a haughty sort. Strange fella when I knew him. And funny thing, his swords were all blunt as stone, but not one of them decayed when faced with the scarlet rot.
Jaren shares a long history
Interesting.
with his general, Radahn. The man preferred a nomadic existence, and yet, before long,
Then he was forced to
became
stay.
sworn to Radahn, bound by an oath of honorable death.
So he really wanted someone to defeat
Jaren was
Radahn so he
there
could
when
leave.
Radahn conquered the stars, and he remained by his side, even after the Scarlet Rot brought the general to his knees, for he had an oath to keep, a promise to bring Radahn an honorable death, even if it meant releasing the night sky from his grasp.
Jaren. Now that's a name I haven't heard for a while. Oh no. Wait, how did I not see it before? I ought to retire as war counselor for such a gross oversight. Let me explain. The fate of the Carrion royal family is guided by the stars, as is the fate of Lady Ranni. First heir in the Carrion royal line. But General Radahn is the conqueror of the stars, who stood
prevented
up to
that
the
from
swirling
happening.
constellations, halting their movement in a smashing victory. And so, if General Radahn were defeated, the stars would once again resume their movement, as would Lady Ranni's destiny.
Her fate.
So although he has lost his mind to rot, Radahn still somehow keeps the stars and Ranni's fate in stasis. This is why you need him dead.
So Ranni's fate is kept in stasis by stars-cursed Radahn. I'll be on my way to this festival of Radahn then. You're coming too, right?
Hell yeah.
Radahn's festivities. I'll meet you at Redmane Castle in Caelid.
Yeah, we
The
all
way
fought
ahead is
together.
pleasingly simple.
That was a chaotic
We
fight.
Sword and fang.
Hell yeah, sword and fang.
Ah, there you are. Took your sweet time. The players are all made up and waiting for the curtain. Let's give them a show to remember, eh? Just don't you go dying on me. For Ranni's sake, too.
Champions!
Champions!
The stars have aligned. The festival is nigh. General Radahn, mightiest demigod of the Shattering, awaits you. Champions, prepare.
That's so cool,
for
all of them lined up.
battle. Defeat the general, claim glory.
So cool. That's not how it was. I had to chaotically get them all while getting blasted with those gravity balls.
Radahn Festival.
Those. And they got me. With the first like 7 tries, I kept dying to those. What a shot. Woohoo. Epic. Oh, this is so cool! Holy moly. This fight was brutal. These shots are epic. Ah! So cool. Alexander and Blythe fighting side by side.
Well played, good sir.
Then he's like, I'm gonna
My
consume the
thanks
bodies.
to you and your razor-sharp wits. Then there's nothing left to say, except I am Iron Fist Alex.
Oh! Oh no, Alexander. You got smushed. Whoa. These moves are crazy cool. Yeah, I remember that feeling. Oh. Yeah, being out of flasks and being like, well, I've got to give it a go. Ooh, he's the moon's move. That is sick. What a way to fight him. The power of the moon.
We can't really be certain why Radahn was holding back the stars. Was it to defend his home? Or was it on behalf of the Golden Order? Or did he simply have something to prove? Whatever the case, with his death, Ranni's fate is immediately freed from stasis, and a falling star tears through the earth in Limgrave, opening a direct path for her and you to Nokron.
To Nokron.
Ah, good. I was waiting for you. Oh, what a sick way to fight, eh? The glory of the clash is shared by Radahn and you. And did you see that afterwards? A falling star right before our eyes. I can't fathom how Radahn was holding back something of that scale.
Yeah.
He was a living legend if ever I saw one. And the path has now been cleared. To Nokron, where Ranni's fate will be decided. Let's meet where the falling star bit the earth. We'll take up our swords once more For Mistress Ranni.
For Mistress Ranni.
You finally come. Blythe told me everything. You've defeated General Radahn,
Hell yeah.
unlocking the stars. There is no parallel to your achievement, nor to Lady Ranni's acute judgment of character. Thanks to you, Lady Ranni's fate once again stirs.
She's finally free.
Blythe wanted me to tell you not to bother waiting for him and head straight to Nokron. Blythe has been given an important task, apparently a matter of great urgency. You need not await Blythe.
I wonder what happened
Descend
in
underground
between.
alone
That's
with
what I'm
a
going to
fallen
find out.
star-struck Limgrave and make it yours. The precious treasure of Nokron, so that Lady Ranni may tread the dark path of the Empyrean.
And so, you scramble through the debris left by a falling star and finally make your way towards Nokron. This is one of 3 eternal cities, to where a race called the Nox were banished long ago.
The Nox?
For somehow they had invoked the ire of the Greater Will, and the Nox were forbidden from returning to its surface. We don't know exactly what they did to deserve this eternal entombment, but it probably had to do with a weapon, the treasure of Nokron, a finger-slayer blade, born of a corpse and drenched in blood and said to be capable of harming the Greater Will and its vassals. So it was that the Nox became nothing more than another civilization that had lost its fate, sharing their ruins with Silvertears, listless treasure hunters, and the songs of the ancestral followers. This is Nokron.
Beautiful. It's like a dream. Once again, I'm going to say it for the billionth time, so beautifully filmed. I don't know how y'all do this.
But now that Radahn's death has freed the fate in the night sky, we are able to discover Nokron's treasure. This is what Blythe was sent to find, yet we are the ones to claim it, so that Ranni can finally usher in the stars and bring about her age of night.
Ah, it was thee, not Blythe it seemeth. Even in my slumber I sensed it. It is in thy possession, is it not? The hidden treasure of Nokron. My thanks. Finally all the pieces are in place. Soon must I begin my journey. Upon the dark path only I may tread. But before I leave, I must entrust thee with this. Take it. My thanks for thy sterling efforts. My discarded flesh lieth beyond the seal unlocked by it. A strange gift, perhaps.
Very.
But a rare sort such as thee would welcome it, I'm sure.
I want to talk about Ranni's dark path.
Please
She had to do some pretty terrible things to get here.
Okay.
For example, she stole Destined Death and sacrificed her own corporeal flesh to rid herself of the hold that the Fingers had over her.
Which is
And to her,
badass,
this was necessary,
in my opinion.
in order to rid the world of all that came before and upend the whole of it.
So it couldn't have a hold on her. It's so cool.
But her sacrifice wasn't all that was required, for Destin's death demanded a body and a soul, so another demigod was very carefully selected and she chose
It's cool to show
Godwin the
upside
Golden.
down.
By killing him,
He was the
Ranni
first.
could at once shed her body and strike a terrible blow to the Golden Order as well, ridding them of Godwin the Golden, who
Once
was
again, badass.
probably the very best of them.
Yeah, true. Maybe it could have been someone
Happens
else.
to Godwin. So, you have to ask, does Ranni's end justify the means?
I am
I feel it
certain
does.
now. Fate
so far.
steered us to our first encounter. I must thank Torrent too for his part.
Torrent.
Oh, there you are. Good of you to drop by. Have you heard? Lady Ranni has departed on her journey along the dark path of Empyrean, from Renna's Rise, as she calls it. It would not have been possible without you. As Lady Ranni's war counselor, and moreover, her childhood warden, I express my deepest gratitude.
Besties with
and
Ichi.
only you were Lady Ranni's true champion. My purpose is nearing its end. I've served Lady Ranni for as long as I can remember. It has been a long and wondrous journey. Now Lady Ranni is in your hands. I pray that you serve her well, unto the very end.
Luigi.
So we decide to take the portal at Renna's Rise. This tower is likely named after the snowy crone that taught Ranni her sorcery. Ranni modeled her doll after that mentor.
Yeah.
And Ranni and the doll that she inhabits are busy somewhere on the other side of this portal,
The
which
Ainzel
leads to the
well.
Ainzel River,
Yeah.
which flows
river.
underneath Liurnia, underneath the Moonlight Plateau. Here you find a miniature doll, a tiny replica of Ranni that she likely devised so that she could advance unseen in this place. For her two fingers are close, and their baleful shadows are even closer, prowling, looking for trespassers, looking for her.
Creepy. She's so clever.
A dogged fellow, aren't we? Or is it merely thy habit to talk to dolls? Fine. Fine. I hadn't expected any soul to recognize me in this guise. But now the cat is out the bag. I cannot allow thee thy freedoms. Perform for me a service as recompense. Eliminate the baleful shadows which prowl these lands. The name of Ranni the Witch is already sullied by thee. I will not brook disobedience in this matter.
So Ranni is here, trying to get close to her fingers so that she can kill them. And
yeah.
finally finish what she started long ago.
Badass.
Even without Ranni's body to
all I can say.
puppeteer, her two fingers still command great power. Remember, these are the mouthpieces of the greater will.
Yeah.
They conjure great light, and so, naturally, also have the power to cast living shadows. The baleful shadows are one such example, and the shadows of the Empyrean are another. But even the two fingers are capable of erring in their judgment.
Let us speak of the past a while. I was once an Empyrean, of the demigods. Only I, Mikola, and Melania could claim that title. Each of us was chosen by our own two fingers as a candidate to succeed Queen Marika.
Yeah, the fingers had
to
chosen
become the
them.
new god of the coming age, which is when I received Blythe.
And she gave it all up
in the
to do
form of
what
a
she
vassal
thought,
tailored for an
was
Empyrean.
right.
But I would not acquiesce to the two fingers. I
Oh, yeah.
stole the rune of death, slew mine own Empyrean flesh, casting it away. I would not be controlled by that thing.
I think that's so cool.
The two fingers and I have been cursing each other ever since.
Beef.
And the baleful shadows are their assassins.
Soon you size up against a baleful shadow, which naturally resembles Blythe. It's easy to imagine then why someone might doubt his loyalty.
Even when I turned my back upon the Two Fingers, Blythe remained my loyal ally. Though he was created a vassal for an Empyrean, he was a colossal failure on the part of the Two Fingers. Blythe and E.G. both aren't willing to give too much to me, yet they both understand what lieth beyond the dark path, that I must betray everything.
Yeah, they
and rid
understood.
the world of what came before.
I agree.
Should I add thee to the list?
Yes.
Another one. Kind of heart. As kind of heart as they.
I would hope so.
This form hath loosened my tongue. I've let slip too much. Forget what thou'st heard. Forget.
Perhaps the baleful shadows are what the fingers think Blythe should have been.
Yeah.
Red phantoms, without Blythe's great sword of frost and with blades of destined death. Instead, a tool that only the agents of order have any right to wield now.
That was a cool shot. This is how they would have expected Blythe to act, knowing her betrayal to the Golden Order. So cool. Another incredible shot.
O Shadow, thou art the last. Tell the Two Fingers that Ranni the Witch cometh
Hell
to
yeah.
rend thy flesh with a fateful wound, ne'er to heal. Beautifully fought. My thanks. 'Twas more of a challenge than I envisioned. Now I can finally stand before them. This is farewell, my dear.
And she takes
Tell
on the
Blythe
fingers.
And E.G. I love them.
This whole time, Blythe couldn't be at Ranni's side, fighting on her behalf, so you had to be instead. E.G. led you to believe that Blythe was sent away on more important matters. But what could be more important than this? So you return to Liurnia and confront him on the matter.
Very well. There is something you should know. The Two Fingers gave Blythe to Lady Ranni as a faithful follower.
So if she's to
A
kill the
very
Two
shadow.
Fingers.
Incapable of treachery. But if Lady Ranni, as an Empyrean, resists being an instrument of the Two Fingers, the Shadow will go mad, transforming from a follower into a horrid curse. But such is his destiny.
Yeah.
In
Was
such
forced upon
matters,
him.
Blythe's own thoughts hold no weight. It pains me so. But he must be neutralized. For Lady Ranni's sake.
He became not himself, but that was his destiny from the moment he was made by
So
the Two
E.G.
Fingers.
had Blythe locked
and she
away
knew that.
in an Everjail in Limgrave. Incidentally, it's the exact same cell that a supposedly traitorous bloodhound once occupied. And now, the half-wolf is here. Imprisoned not for any treachery, but to prevent it.
Oh, it's you. It's me, Blythe. Old E.G. trapped me here. Told me I'd bring naught but bale to Lady Ranni. But there's no chance that could happen. I'm part of her being. A very shadow. I thought old E.G. knew as much. Honestly, I don't know what's going on anymore. My thanks, friend. I'm going to see Mistress Ranni now. I don't know what came over old E.G., but even if the odds are slim, I need to check the mistress is safe. Now, Ranni can finally set in motion the fight against her fate she's dreamed of for so long.
As you can see, Blythe is still in control, even as the two fingers are nearing their death at the hands of Ranni. Yet Blythe remains this living contradiction, forced to be loyal to two parties who are at complete odds with one another. E.G. believes that this should drive him mad, especially this close to the end, at the final stage of Ranni's ultimate betrayal, but it hasn't. According to Carian tradition, the Princess of Caria is supposed to give a ring and sword to her chosen consort. But Ranni locked away her ring of betrothal in the Grand Library and engraved it with a warning instead, telling you not to take the ring from this place, warning that the solitude beyond the night is better left for her alone. But you ignore her and follow doggedly in her path.
I thought I might expound a little further upon the order I envision. Mine will be an order not of gold, but the stars and moon of the chill night. I would keep them far from the earth beneath our feet. As it is now, life and souls and order are bound tightly together. But I would have them at a great remove, and have the certainties of sight, emotion, faith, and touch all become impossibilities, which is why I would abandon this soil with mine order. Wouldst thou come to me even now?
Yes. I feel like it's all still a better fate than the world, the existence that is current from the Golden Order.
Would be one that is largely removed from the world. The goddess that spearheads it would be unreachable. She would not accept the love of the masses, their worship, their offerings, none of it. This
it was never
differs
for her
greatly
ego.
from Marika's Golden Order, which demanded veneration. It wiped out other ideologies, it grafted those it couldn't wipe out onto itself, and gave the world absolute evils to contend with, all with Marika as its figurehead. So to bring about such drastic change, it's no surprise that Ranni has to go to extreme lengths. To become her lord, you have to find your own way to the Moonlight Plateau, past a malformed star, ring of betrothal in hand, to a place defended by Ranni's oath-sworn dragon, the Cathedral of Manus Celis. The word Celis means heavenly, but the word Manus means of the hand. So you learn that it's here that Ranni's own heavenly hand had settled. Two fingers that brazenly lurk underneath the cathedral named after them. Two fingers that know there is no weapon that could kill them, except for the Fingerslayer blade, the legacy of the eternal city of Nokron.
Hell yeah.
Which was finally put to use by Ranni herself.
A baddie.
So it was thee who would become my lord. Perhaps I needn't have warned thee. I am pleased, however. Thou art a fitting choice. I go now to the night sky. It is there I shall find mine order. I bid thee travel the path of the Lord, and once all is done, we shall see each other once more.
Hell yeah.
Ranni's sigil is a full moon, cold and leaden, and this sword is a beam of its very light, gifted by a Carian queen upon her spouse, to honor long-standing tradition. So it was you that would become Ranni's lord, not Blythe, who was forced to wait, while you fulfilled the role of shadow and consort.
But I could
With the
actually
two fingers dead,
do it because
something
I
has
wasn't
indeed
bound.
broken in Blythe, but somehow he still remains loyal to Ranni. The law states that Blythe would have defied destiny itself if it would have had him turn upon his lady. But Ranni was always destined for the dark path. Since there falls no shadow where there shines no sun, Ranni leaves her shadow behind.
No. I'm part of her very being. I could never betray her, no matter what might happen.
Oh my god, what a shot! How did they do that? Poor Blythe. He was forced into this position that he had no way to escape from. All because he was loyal to her and wanted to help her.
Stop. Please.
It's the finger's fault.
She needs me.
You walked the same path as Blythe for so long.
Literally.
But in the end, only you can go on.
I wished we could have at least freed him, but that was the fault of the two fingers.
Promise to look after Blythe for me, will you? The man is honest to a fault. But fortunately, now he has you.
Oh, this really hurts!
Before Blythe's death, he was attacked by a group of black knives. It's impossible to know who sent them or why they acted as they did, but if they've gone after Blythe, then it follows that their next target would be E.G.
Unthinkable. How could Blythe? How did he break free from his cell? No. More importantly, Blythe became a curse that plagued Lady Ranni. Yet even in madness, gave himself to her. I've made a grave misjudgment. And I thought myself a capable war counselor. I'll catch up with you soon enough, Blythe. When I do, I only hope you'll accept my apology.
Oh.
Go as you must, Lady Ranni, along the path of darkness.
Inevitably, E.G. dies fighting as well, destined to catch up with Blythe in death, as you escape the consequences and continue along the path to Elden Lord.
I guess she knew from the start that she would have to not have Blythe and E.G. by her side at the very end to be able to do what she needed to do. It's heartbreaking. That I probably couldn't have done. She's very strong.
In this ending, the Elden Ring is set aside completely, to be eclipsed by the moon, as it was long ago, back when fate was still in the night sky, in the age before the Erd Tree, before the Elden Ring.
Before the Erd Tree took over. Because there was life before the Erd Tree.
The battle is over, I see. I do solemnly swear to every living being and every living soul. Now cometh the age of the stars. 1,000-year voyage under the wisdom of the moon. Here beginneth the chill night that encompasses all, reaching the great beyond. Into fear, doubt, and loneliness, as the path stretcheth into darkness.
So, Ranni's order will still exist, but it will never again be seen, believed in, or touched by the living. To bring this about, her sacrifice is absolute. She has to leave and never return.
She was selfless
But
from
at
the
least
start.
she'll still have you.
Well then, shall we? My fair consort eternal.
Bound to her eternally. She'll never get the praise of what she sacrificed, but they will be free.
Thank you for watching. You know, despite being one of the most convoluted quest lines that FromSoftware has ever devised, Ranni's ending is the most popular ending in Elden Ring. It speaks to the power that this narrative has, that so many of you took the time to have your playthroughs defined by it.
Yeah.
And that's why we wanted this Prepare to Cry episode to be the best of all. So,
important.
Special thanks then to everyone else who made this project what it was. First and foremost, to Miss Pap1, who was my project partner, my editor, and capture artist. He also gave really valuable insight on which parts of my script worked and which didn't, and all of this wouldn't have been what it was without his help. And then there's John Devlin, the artist for Prepare to Cry's awesome visual introductions.
Hell yeah.
We set out to create scenes that players were never able to see in-game, and I think we achieved that goal. John put a monumental amount of effort into this art, and I'm so appreciative of that.
Absolutely stunning.
And then it was Xavier who brought this art to life, animating it and never complaining, even though I was probably really annoying whenever I requested a ton of changes. So huge props to Xavier. And then there was Arcane Bard, who worked on the sound effects and music for this introduction, bringing it to a whole new level where the music and sound effects could perfectly match the tone of what's seen on screen. That is so difficult to do, but they nailed it. Finally, Alex Rowe contributed the music for the Nokron scene. He took a few notes of music that the ancestral shamans sing, and he turned it into this fully fledged masterpiece.
Hell yeah.
Was just amazing to
That's
show off
awesome.
in this video. But finally, thank you to you guys. Your views and your support on Patreon, or you buying merchandise, all of that just allows me to justify spending a lot of money commissioning the most talented people out there for these projects. So thank you for enabling all of this. This marks the end of the 5 main episodes of Elden Ring Prepare to Cry, which we wanted to be really epic in scale because all of these are based around some of the most powerful stories, each corresponding to an ending in the game. There are still more Prepare to Cry videos that we want to make, and there are definitely more lore videos I want to make, but they'll probably have to wait until I've spent some good time with Armored Core. So this is kind of goodbye to Elden Ring content for a little while, but I'll be back. Don't worry about that. Thank you again for sticking with me through all of this. Thank you for watching.
Wow.
And I'll see you next time.
Well, that was one of the most beautiful videos I've ever freaking seen. That was incredible. And so beautifully told, because it really puts into perspective how much loss after loss after loss Ranni endured to do all of this that didn't benefit her in the end. Like, it didn't lead to glory or power or financial gain or anything. It just led to her going against what she felt was wrong. At least that's how I perceive it. I'm sure there could be some greater explanation or maybe a more detailed reason why, but I feel like her purpose, and from even when she was a child and was chosen by the Fingers to be an Empyrean, she knew that that wasn't for the right reasons, and it wasn't. If she followed in the footsteps and gained the powers that she could have become the next god, like the next version of Marika, she would have had so much power, so much praise. I mean, there's worships and churches and idols of Marika, of Queen Marika. She could have had all of that, kept Blythe by her side, which is her closest companion, kept E.G. in her life, but instead she chose to lose it all because she knew this fate of the Golden Order wasn't freedom and it wasn't fair. I mean, look at all the countless people, whether it's in the Eternal Cities or like just the Tarnished themselves or whoever, that none of them got to live a fair and free life under the hand of the Golden Order. And she knew she was going to be used to perpetuate a cruel and endless cycle. And she decided she won't be part of that. And I love for her that she was way more in the end like her mother than her father / Marika, because Ranala was a very powerful and intelligent woman prior to just falling to complete despair and grief. And that strength that she clearly had was very much passed down to Ranni, and from what Ranala taught her when she was young, she kept a lot of that in her. And this witch that she met in the woods, which I guess her name was Renna, that she based her original name on, but I'm not entirely sure about that. And she learned from her as well, and fully embraced that she kind of made herself the least important part of her life, which is just so selfless and so, I don't know, to not be played and used for other people's games. I just admire that so much. So I do think the ends justify the means. And maybe of all the Empyreans she could have killed, maybe Godwyn wasn't the right choice, but maybe it had to be him. I'm not too sure. And Blythe's fate is utterly heartbreaking. And I blame the Fingers. I don't blame Ranni. I blame the Fingers for causing his inability to be free from that. He was forced to be loyal to her, but also forced to be loyal to the Fingers. Why should he? He should only be there for Ranni and not have to be bound by the Fingers just because they created him. But he was, and that's heartbreaking because he gave everything for Ranni, and he would have done it 1,000,000 times over. And he was such a good man, and I loved him. And E.G. And screw Celibus. So thank you so much for joining me on that incredible video. That was heartbreaking, but I'm surprised to hear that it's one of the more popular endings. I'm really glad that I experienced that and chose it. As I was going with Ranni's quest, it felt like that was the right one to go with. I mean, the people I was aligned with, whether it was Ranni herself or Blythe or E.G., were just people of such integrity and such good intentions that I really wanted to support them and do what was right for them, even if it led to everyone freaking dying, which was heartbreaking. But I felt it was the right move. But yeah. Alrighty, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.